Hello everyone. I hope you are able to hear me and able to see the screen. Please allow me 5 minutes to prepare and then we'll start the session. Thank you. Okay. Hi. Hello everyone. Welcome to the session of Network Security Fundamentals. I hope you are able to hear me and able to see the screen. Please confirm once in the live chat. You can send a message in the live chat directly. So please type there like if there is any issue in my voice or any other kind of problem is there. If not, we'll start. Okay. So please try to be interactive, and once if you want to ask any queries in between, you can type in the live chat. Okay. So this session will be of 2 hours, and in this 2 hour of session, we'll discuss about network security fundamentals. I will explain you why network security is important and how it will affect the cybersecurity industry and how it plays a very important role. Okay. Just sorry. So this 2 hour session will cover out the network security concepts, how important is network security, even for you, even for the industry, and for different purposes. Okay. So the agenda for this session will be to cover out what is, I will type it here, what is network security. Okay. How does it work? Okay. And types of network security. Now, basically, if we talk about network, how many of you are able to understand what exactly is a network? Can you type in the live chat? How many of you know about what exactly is the meaning of a network? What exactly is a network in IT terms? Please type in the live chat. Yes, no, like, I hope most of you know about what exactly is a network. Anyone? Yeah, okay. So let me like just give you an overview of the network. Now, suppose if we use internet on our daily basis, like we browse internet, we browse Google, we use YouTube, we use a lot of applications, and there are different uh, services which is available on the internet, and the internet is the way using which we connect with those services, correct? So there is lot of configurations required for those connections to perform those activities, so that you can connect with just a click and do the other sort of things, uploading videos, browsing the internet, downloading, uploading, a lot of things are happening, right? So everything happens on a network, which allows multiple systems to communicate with each other and do certain different processes. Okay. Now, if you are a developer, the concept of network will be same for you. Like we know like how to host a website, so we need the we just need to know about the concept of how website hosting works. There also the concept of network is important, it's required. Now, in order to make the network work properly, there's a requirement of network security. Okay. All the transmission which is happening, suppose I'm sending you a message. Okay. I'm sending you an email, or I'm just trying to communicate with you with any medium, and it is happening online. So obviously the network communication will take place. Suppose if there is a hacker who is trying to uh, get into the network, trying to attack the network and trying to steal data. Suppose if there is a hacker, so they will be able to see the communication between us if they're able to hack the network, if the network is not secured properly. Okay. That is network, and there is network security. I hope the concept is clear. The overview is clear now. So let's begin. Types of security will be the third topic. Okay. After that, we'll understand about the different layers of security. Okay. Now, generally, we know we have this transport layer and application layer. So I will explain you about what exactly is a layer, and how a layer is there for transport, and how the application layer works. Okay. With some examples and all we'll do. Application layer, security. After that, obviously with the theories, we'll try out some practicals where I will show you that how the network works, and with the help of some tools, how we gather information about the network. Suppose uh, you started working with ABC company, and your job is to find out vulnerabilities in the network, or your job is to protect the network, or your job is to protect a server or a website. So your job is to protect how, just to find out the issues and to fix out the configuration problems. That's what important, correct? If you know about the layers of the network, if you know how the physical layer works, how the transport layer works, how the application layer works, you can easily understand about security also, like how we can secure that particular network. So we'll understand about everything, how it basically works, and what concepts you need to understand the whole thing about network security. After that, theory, we'll discuss about some tools for network security. And how important is it? Like, what benefits we get from network security? Why there is a scope of network security engineers in the coming few years? Now also it's very important, like for any organization, securing their network is very important, and it's a very crucial part of cyber security also. My audio is not clear, someone is saying. Please let me know if my voice is having any issues, and is there any vibration or something? Please type in the live chat, or is it clear? Let me check my audio settings once. Okay, so I'm using my external microphone and it's working fine. So if you're having any issue, please try to check if you're having some network problem or internet issue. Might be it's that because of that. Okay, let's proceed. So we're discussing about benefits. Okay, the benefits of network security, why it's very important, and how it gives us benefits, like in terms of results, in terms of giving proper security, and it benefits basically in terms of security of the servers or the customer data. Okay, everything plays a very important role in business. Now, if you're working for some ABC company, why they need you? So that they can build their business and they can fix out all their technical problems and the backend stuff. And the network security plays a very important role there. Correct? After benefits of network security, after discussing this, we'll have a practical on Nmap. Okay, a live Nmap demonstration where I will show you with the help of Debian-based system. Debian, like we can use Parrot, we can use Linux, Kali Linux, and with the help of that, how we use Nmap to get information about the network. Okay, we can scan a network, we can get proper information about it. I will explain about some commands with the help of Nmap, which you can do. Okay. Now, these are the topics which we'll discuss in today's session. Got it? So let's start with the first one. What is network security? Just give me a moment. Okay. So let's start with the first topic, that is, what is network security? Now, we know, like just few minutes back, as I explained you about the internet, like we use a lot of services, we use a lot of website apps, like example of social media, there is Facebook, Instagram, we use emails, like we use Gmail, and some people use Yahoo, many of us use different mail clients. Correct? Outlook we use. So there is a need of third-party softwares, third-party website, and these kind of services on a everyday basis, right? Like for different purposes. Now, this means obviously we have to give some information in order to process that particular thing. Now, if you're searching something on Google, if you need some information from Google, what do? You just search your keywords, Google processes the particular keyword and gives you a result, right? And the result will basically be about the same thing what you're looking for. Now, your data will be processed. It goes through a lot of things. It goes through a lot of layers of the internet, which processes the data. And finally, it gives you a result, which you basically see on your website or whatever services you are using, correct? So the network security is very important to protect the user ability and the usability also. Like suppose if the data is getting shared on the internet while via a network, it needs to be secured. Okay, if it is not secured, any hacker can easily get into the network, can do a man in the middle attack, can do different kinds of cyber attacks, and can steal your data. Okay, just now, like few minutes back, I gave you an example of, like, if we are texting, if you're suppose messaging, and we're using some client, some normal software, and that software might be vulnerable, and that vulnerability will give a hacker an option to hack and steal the data. And how it is happening? Because of the vulnerability in the network. Okay, nothing is possible if the network is secure. Got it? One more example. Suppose we all are in a room, and that room is having a Wi-Fi router, and the Wi-Fi router is having internet, and 10 to 20 users can easily connect in the router. So suppose we all are connected in the router. and in that particular room, and we all have a laptop computer. So we all started searching something. We all started doing our activities like we do on the internet. Okay. And I started using some tools which can easily scan the data which is getting transmitted in that particular network. Now, our data is not directly going to the servers of the website, whatever we are doing. If we are browsing Facebook, it's not going directly to the Facebook. It's going through a hub, which is the router. Got it? The router is processing our data. And if a hacker is able to hack that router physically, remotely, there are different methods, then they can do anything with your data. Okay. And that's also a part of the network. So that's why it is very important to use network security so that the data will be secure. So suppose in that room, I started using some softwares, I can easily go through what information you are going through, what you are searching. Suppose if you are logging in somewhere, it is not secure, then I can get your password, email IDs, and the other sensitive information. All these things are possible because the network was not secure. We can secure it with the help of different ways, and that will explain you one by one. Okay. Now, the network security is important because of the first thing, the usability. Okay. The user don't want to use something which is not secure. Second, there's a large amount of data which travels through the internet, right? Now, the internet is categorized into different ways. Like we use internet in our office, that will be having some securities, some restrictions. We use internet with the normal ISPs like Airtel, Geos and all. What happens? They also have some restrictions. You can't browse certain websites if it is blocked, because they are the one who, like, they can do configurations like that. So each and every network is different. Got it? So there is a large amount of data with the different categories. It's not only same data. There might be 100 of different categories of data which is traveling to the internet, and that makes it very complex. And that's why network security is important. We can't just let the data go and travel. Okay, I hope you got my point. That's the second thing. Third is, like, for professional and for personal use, it's very important. Now, suppose I'm at a airport. I'm trying to use internet. I see some Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi services, and I started using them. Like I connected with my phone number, I verified with OTP, and I started browsing the internet. Now, I don't know whether someone is trying to access those personal details with the help of the internal operators or not. With the help of some backend things, a hacker, a user can easily connect in that network and can try to sneak and steal your data. Okay, and you don't know about that because there is a device, there is a router, there is a hub which is processing your data, and you don't know whether it's secure or not. Okay, obviously it is managed by third-party companies, and you never know how they are processing your data. So if you're able to check whether the network is secure or not, you can easily secure yourself, right? That's the personal part. Professionally, now in companies, if suppose there is a company known as Drink Prime that they offer water purifiers on subscriptions. Okay, so now suppose you are using their subscription and you have their device. Okay, they have some device in the filter which is like a IoT device, and it is also connected with the server and your mobile app. Okay, that's a part of IoT. Because you are able to manage something with the help of a mobile phone, and it is connected to the internet. That stands for IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, now that's a technology, obviously. So if a hacker finds out some vulnerability in the device, they can easily hack your device, hack your personal information, whatever you did on the server. Like if you made any transactions with the help of their server. Obviously it's not like every companies, they use their own payment gateways. Like there are third-party payment gateways who work differently and works like on a separate level to secure your data. They don't share. But I'm talking about the other things. Okay, apart from the payment things and all, the personal data, your name, your phone number, your email, your other important stuff, if it is not secured, if the network is not secured, whatever the Drink Prime people are using on their servers, you can easily get hacked because you are having your data stored somewhere on that third-party provider server. Okay, that's why network security is important at personal level and professional also, because companies needs to focus on securing their data. Okay, and if they're not having a secure network, their safety is compromised. Their customer safety is compromised, basically. Got it? Because you are not seeing anything apart from the app, anything apart from the software. You're not seeing like how the data is stored, how it is getting taken care of, and what else your data is used for. All those things come in there. Okay. Then the last is, like, suppose you're using some service, okay, and it's a cloud service, okay, and suppose if you don't know how to set up some configurations and how to set up some details and how to give some information, and you're not paying attention to the terms and conditions, policies, and the different kind of things. So what happens there is you simply agree and give your like kind of consent to them that they can use their data for multiple purposes. Like, you don't know, when you sign up for Facebook, you sign up for some policies, some terms and condition also, where they process your data with the help of your cookies across different websites, so that they can gather as much as possible information about you. Okay, so now it is come to the light, like with the help because of the iOS 15, 14 updates and all, a lot of people know that what's happening in the advertisement world, but still most of the people don't know anything about it. So once you allow someone, just by clicking on accept terms and condition, yes, it means that you're allowing your data to be shared, processed for better usages, to fix a lot of things, but at what cost? At your data's cost, right? So it's very important to understand about all these things also. Okay, and that's also a part of network security. Okay, any doubt, anyone, in the first thing, what is network security? Is it clear now what exactly is a network security? Any doubts in that, you can ask in the live chat. We'll discuss about the layers after like few minutes. Do you have any doubt in the network security topic? Like, I hope it's clear to everyone the importance of securing a network and how it directly affects the user data. Okay, you know, in the current world, in the current cyber world, data is the most like costly thing now. Okay, data is the most precious thing. Okay, it's more costly than a, like, you can say, a crypto, Bitcoin. And network security plays a vital role in securing that particular information. Yes. So one of you asked about the OSI model. Now, basically, the model is used to explain how the network works, right? There's different models of the network. We're talking about the network security. Yeah, for each and every model, network security plays a different role. Like, of course, if you're working on some different layer, there will be a different concept, but the concept of security will be same. Okay, just like I will be explaining you few points now, which will be you will be easily able to understand that, okay, this is how it works, and then it will be categorized into different models for different usages. However, like the way, like few minutes back, as I explained you, for different categories, for different things, network is categorized in that way. Like, there's an application layer where a lot of application, the users were having direct applications, like suppose the client access. Now, if I'm having this laptop, I'm using Zoom. Zoom is a client application. Okay, it's the application layer. So whatever I can do in the Zoom application, Zoom app, that will be counted as an application where I am interacting, the user is interacting with the application directly, and there a lot of vulnerabilities are possible. Okay, so each and every model have like its own configuration, and it depends on the configuration. It like how the configuration is done, the security will depend on that. Yeah, it's basically, yeah, it's correct, Naresh. So basically, Naresh is saying like, providing security for data in network is called network security. So the main objective is to protect data only. And to protect that, we need to secure the network. Okay. But we are discussing about the fundamentals. A lot of things are there inside that. Let's cover that also. Now, how does it work? How does the network works basically? Sorry, network security works. Now, we discussed about the importance. Okay. Now, how it works for us, for everyone. We use internet. We do our daily activities on the internet. All these things we know about internet. All the stuffs we do on the internet. We just pay attention to what exactly we are using, how we are doing, and like obviously we use some apps, some websites, we know some locations, we know some addresses. That's what helps us to browse through the internet. Okay. And if we try to find out something new, we can get on Google and we just try to search it normally. Correct. Now, how the security is implemented, basically how it is controlled in the network. First is, let me write it down here. First is, give me a moment. Okay, so first is authentication and then authorization. Now, basically what it means, when a network security happens, when we implement some network security concept, the first thing starts with is authentication. Okay. Authentication helps to verify the user identity. Now, suppose I'm a librarian and I can't enter the library without my ID card. Okay. Why? Because there might be a RFID machine and it opens some gate. With the help of the ID card, it needs to verify that. Suppose that's a physical kind of example I'm giving. Okay. So that process will be known as authentication, where we are basically checking the rights, that if the user is having the proper rights to access the place or not, or to access the infrastructure or the data. Got it? So here comes the first thing. To secure the data, we do authentication. First is you. Why you? Because you have username and password for accessing your data. You have your Facebook account. Okay. You have your Google account, emails, you have different things, right? So in order to access that, what do? You basically give your username, you give your password, you click on sign in, login, and then you are able to just access it. Correct? So that is authentication. Second is authorization, where we basically check whether the user is having the certain rights or not. Like, I don't know if you have attended my previous courses or not, videos. If you have seen my previous courses, videos and all, I talk a lot about privilege escalation. Privilege escalation is something, it's a part of hacking, okay, where we basically try to get a permission of some other user, which who we are not. Now, suppose I am able to hack your computer, but I can't do anything because I don't have the same permission as you do. Hacking is not that easy that you can simply get access to a system and then do like everything what a normal user can do. No, there are a lot of concepts. So authorization helps in that. Authorization verifies whether the user is admin. It depends on the rules given by you. If you have defined a user admin profile, then they can do a lot of things. If you have defined a user profile with different options, they can do that particular things only. So authorization is for that. Got it? So authentication and authorization, these are the two things which helps to secure a particular network. Okay. And because of these two things, the network is secure, the user data is secure, and there are vulnerabilities which can happen and which can lead to a lot of different things. Now, suppose there's a vulnerability. Okay. The vulnerability can lead to different things. Like suppose authentication is not working properly. Suppose you launched your website, you are a developer and you coded the website in PHP or any language, just say that any language, okay? And you are successfully able to launch that. But you are not paying attention on the security, whether your database is secure or not. Obviously, you are totally relying on third-party infrastructure. If you're using AWS, that's a simply different thing. But obviously, your software, your application might be having some authentication bugs, and if that's there, hackers can easily try to exploit with the help of vulnerabilities. And here comes the concept of vulnerability in the network security. So with the help of authentication, we try to secure those things. If it is not there, if authentication is not working, if authorization is not working, and if it is working, if it is not having proper security, it means any hacker can get into the network and with the help of a vulnerability can bypass these two things. Okay, and that's how a network work. The best authentication needs to secure the server. The tough it will be for the hackers, the best security is there. Okay, any doubts anyone in the how does it basically works, the network security? Let me know. And as you know, like I gave you information about like example on this thing, no? Like authentication is how we identify the user. Okay, like you use username and password to log into your Facebook account. I use my net banking credentials to log into my internet banking to make transactions, right? That is how authentication works. Authorization, for example, for example, suppose one more example, uh, I'm the administrator, you are a student. So, and the laptop and computers are same for everyone. So first, the system, suppose I want to use that computer, I can go easily, I can log into the administrative account because I will be having the username and password for that. Okay. And suppose you try to access the same system, then with the help of authentication, after checking the rules for your identity, for your profile, if it is admin, you can get my access. If it is normal user, you will be having that particular access, which is defined for that particular role. Okay. I hope it is clear to everyone. Okay, let's now proceed with the next one, which is types of network security. Now, this is very important part. Like here, we start categorizing the types of network security. Like it is same as types of network, but a little bit of different. For example, let's start. Let me erase this one. Okay, types of network security. Now, when we talk about securing a network, there are a lot of things which comes into the mind, right? Like physical ways means like biometric is there, RFID verification, camera verification, like there's some machine which scans eyes to give access, right? There are a lot of ways available to authenticate someone. Like how does a network security works? We discussed about authenticating and authorizing, correct? In that, there may be different methods to do that. First is the physical way. Okay, in the physical way, in the physical network security, we try to pay attention on the hardwares. Like if hardwares and the physical securities, like suppose in the physical security also, we can talk about the security guards also. The human interference also is there, right? That's the physical layer. So if there is a physical security with the help of a device verification system or human interference, there we pay attention on those hardwares and those physical things only to make it secure. Okay. After that, there's a technical way. Technical way is what we try to use the different concepts of vulnerabilities. We try to use XSS attacks, CSRF, MySQL. You might have heard about a lot of different kinds of attacks, remote attacks and all. That includes, that is there in the technical way. Okay. And after that, there is a administrator. Now, in this, what happens, like suppose you're having the admin rights or you're able to escalate an admin rights, will be anyhow having a lot of options to perform a lot of things, right? So that is a different way. Suppose if you're able to hack someone's admin account, if you're able to get into someone's administrative account, there'll be a lot of options which you can easily do automatically. And there's a role also. In each and every organization, there is an administrative role. Okay. And if that access you get, you can do a lot of different things. Got it? There are three different kinds of network security. Okay. Any doubts, anyone in this? Let me know. Physical is like what the devices we use for different securities, like RFID, biometric, cameras. Technical, we have like servers, softwares, different security services we have, like for technical securities also. Like suppose there are some apps which scans your servers regularly to make sure that there is no vulnerabilities, and an administrator. Okay. Okay. Let's now proceed further to the next topic, that is transport layer and application layer security. Now in the network, if you're discussing about network security, this is very important now to understand how the application layer works and how the transport layer works. Okay, let me erase this. Okay, so let me create a diagram here just for the representation, like how it basically. Suppose this is application layer. Focus on drawings and all, it takes a lot of time. Okay, let's first type application layer and then transport layer. Okay, so what exactly is application layer? What exactly is transport layer? Now, suppose let's talk about the application layer. Normally, when we are a user and when we are using some client application, like just a few minutes back, I gave you an example on Zoom. Let's take example of any other app like Chrome browser. Okay, camera. Okay, application like Facebook in a mobile phone, Instagram in mobile phone, and other apps. Okay, so whatever we are doing in my network, like everyone in every network now, at least we have one router, right? In every home internet connection also, there's one router at least, correct? So if you're having internet connection, you will be having one router at your home. If you're working in an office, you'll be having a router, or suppose you might be using a LAN also, but it's a network obviously. So whatever activities you're doing in that network will be counted in the application layer. There are different things in the application layers. Okay, and then there's a transport layer. The transport layer basically encrypts the information and sends it to the particular destination to process it. And in between that, to make the network secure, like if you already know about networking and all, you know about application layer, transport layer, obviously. The concept what I'm trying to explain here is about the security. And here, something known as SSL layer will come. What is SSL layer? Now, this SSL layer basically works between the application layer and transport layer. Okay, like anyhow, the transport layer transport the data, send the data, process the data, other things, whatever is like up after the transport layer. SSL will basically helps to encrypt the data, okay, or the information which is getting transmitted from a client to a server. Okay, now if you're like trying to log in on Facebook, you're giving your login information, username and password. Okay, and the SSL layer is not there. Obviously, the HTTPS we know about, hypertext transfer protocol. Okay, secured layer, that is the SSL layer, and that will encrypt your data into a non-readable text, encrypted messages which can't be decrypted without a decryptor or the algorithm password. Okay, now if the SSL layer is not there, obviously your data will travel and transmit with the plain text, which can be read by anyone, And if there is a man-in-the-middle attack happening, a hacker can easily go through the data which is getting transmitted from your client to the server. Got it? And SSL layer helps in that by encrypting the information. Got it? That's like the transport and the application layer. Now, in the transport and application layer, I will explain you about few more things about application layer, few more things about transport layer, and few more things about internet layer. Okay, so application layer, transport layer, internet layer, and SSL layer, all these completely comes together and helps to secure the network. Got it? Any doubts, anyone? Yeah, correct. Secure socket layer, that's SSL. You know what HTTP, HTTPS, correct? That's what. Okay, now let's go more deep into this, the transport layer and application layer security, how the security works. Let me explain you in more deeper way. Now, this is the SSL layer, which works in between the application and transport layer. Now, application layer and transport layer directly connected. In the transport layer, we have protocols, nothing else but protocols. Now, on the internet, in order to make different activities work, we have different protocols. And one of the protocol is transmission control protocol, or simply we say it as TCP. Okay, you might also know about UDP. Okay, UDP, TCP, this all you might have heard about. That's all kind of protocols for different usages, for different purposes, for different process. Obviously, the different protocols are used. Okay, because on the internet, not every services works on same configuration. Got it? Okay. Now, suppose there's an application layer, there's a transport layer, and there's an internet layer, because that's what the internet comes in between the servers, destinations, and all. Okay, so let me draw an internet layer here. Internet layer. And after the internet layer, in the internet layer, it's everything like Google, Facebook, whatever websites are hosted, whatever services are hosted, which can be accessed by anyone on the internet. Okay, so they are basically all connected, right? So application layer will have what things? Application and SSL layer will have everything from the user's end. Okay, so like few minutes back we discussed about the application layer, like how we use applications in the environment, Facebook, YouTube, Google, Gmail, my websites, laptop, we use to do a lot of things, right, in our network. So everything is happening on the application layer in our own system. A lot of things get saved in our computer, a lot of things get saved in the cookies, in the browser, and later on when we again use the same website, same application, it uses the data which is saved in our system to process the other things, right? That's all in the application layer. Apart from that, in the application layer, when the data travels, first it does a SSL handshake. Okay, that's one thing which we use to secure the data. Once the handshake is done, we verify everything, and then the data is processed. Okay, now even after the SSL and all, there is a need of HTTP, right? When we access a website, when we access a resource, we generally go with HTTP. And if the server is having SSL enabled, the HTTP automatically will turn to HTTPS. It doesn't matter if you try to use HTTPS even on a non-secure website, it doesn't work. Okay, it will show not secure. So if they're having a valid SSL certificate, then only the SSL handshake will work. The information will be encrypted, an alert will be generated, and the data will be passed. Okay, and then it will be sent to the transport layer with the help of TCP, UDP, whatever protocol is getting used. It will be processed further and then to the internet layer. And here, suppose if there's a server, the target, suppose if I'm using Google and other things, so the destination, it will be known as destination. And the destination will process the data, will send it back to the application layer, and we'll get the results. So whatever happening from the application layer, SSL layer, SSL handshake, HTTP connection, then trying to encrypt the data, sending it to the transport layer, then processing it to the internet layer. And then again, the whole data is coming back to the transport layer, again to the application layer and getting to the user. So the whole path needs to be secured. Okay. And that's the transport layer and application layer security, how it works. Any doubts, anyone in this, let me know. Okay. So let me know in the live chat if you're having any doubts till here. Any doubts, you can type in the live chat. This is how transport layer application layer works. And that's very important to understand. Okay. The concept and the fundamentals here. So once you start working in the transport layer, you will get to know, okay, this is where the security is very important. So we can do these things to secure the particular layer by implementing different configurations. Okay. As a network security engineer and as an ethical hacker, suppose I'm an ethical hacker and you are my engineer fellow from networking team. So your job, if you're doing your job better, it will help us indirectly to make sure that the user data is secure, because the network is not hackable. Obviously, the data will be also secure. Yeah, so basically, if the server is having the SSL certificate installed, we can configure the server in that way. Like if you're not configuring, it won't work. Okay, so we have to redirect. If you're having the certificates, it will redirect to HTTPS, then the handshake will happen. So nowadays, browsers also try to force HTTP to HTTPS, but if you're not having a valid SSL certificate, it won't work. The ciphers won't work. And the browser will give you that the certificate is not verified because the handshake is not successful. And not successful, why? Because the keys are not matching. So in order to make it work, you have to make sure that you use a proper SSL certificate verified. Then it will properly secure the data of your users. Okay. Let's proceed forward. If you're not having any doubts, I can't see any of the messages apart from few users. Let's proceed. After discussing about transport layer and application layer security, next is key tools used for network security. Now, we're not talking about tools like the software and all. We're talking about the key solutions with the help of certain tools, methods, which we use to secure the network. Okay, let me erase all these. Okay. Next is key tools for network security. Now, most of you already know about a lot of things here. So let me categorize into a better way. First is the firewall. Sorry, let me erase this. So in the network security, the first and the very most important part is using a firewall. Now, firewall is not a common topic. It's not a common stuff, not a common software. Okay. The more configuration and rules, just a minute. Okay, sorry for that. Yeah, so first thing is the firewall. Now, firewall is very important because the more configuration you add, the more rules you add, the better it will work. Firewalls are there in your personal system also. Like if you're using Windows, there's an option of firewall configuration in the Windows, and you can go and set up your configuration rules. For example, firewall won't allow uh, unverified packets. Okay, what is unverified packets? A packet contains some information about the data which is getting transmitted. Like if you're asking for some data, then it will be transmitted into a packet. The packet will be transmitted over the network, and then it will give you the results and all. Now the firewall, we can configure that if you want to block certain packets, if you want to block certain ports and all, you can simply define the firewall. And you can set up even some configurations for different applications in your environment also. Like this application must not be able to do this thing. This application must not be able to do that thing. Obviously, if you're having a camera app and suppose the camera is trying to connect with the internet, why is the need of internet in the camera app, right? If there's a need, if there's a feature, then it's okay. But you can't, we normally don't check about the permissions with the apps. In the latest Android, we have a lot of options to control those options, because in the previous Android versions, we used to allow everything at once while installing. Now it's on us, like if you want to allow, then it's okay, right? If you don't allow, that will be also okay. So in firewall, the same case, we can allow, we can disallow, and based on the rules, we can set up the security. After firewall, we have something known as VPN. VPN is nothing but a tool which is used to set up a tunnel of private network. Now, suppose, let me give you a clear example. When we use our ISP internet, when we use internet from the Airtel, Vodafone, Jio, or whatever SIM cards you're using, or even if you're using a broadband by these same companies like fiber connections, Airtel Extreme, Jio Fiber, and other providers and all, they will process your data directly to the server. Now, once you give any information, they process it from their end. They don't process it basically, they just check for some default configuration. If there is some law passed by some court that you must not allow these websites to browse in India or some countries, that is the only configuration they handle. Otherwise, they don't restrict anything. Your data passes clearly through their servers and just goes to the destination server and gets back, right? So the target will be, the destination will be able to know who are you, from where your data is coming, who is processing your data. And obviously the ISP will know everything about you, that, okay, this is this guy's phone number and this is the location from where you try to access the data. So if you try to do something illegal, you will get caught very easily, because you are using something which is very open and not having any security. Okay. So what hackers do, they, obviously illegal hackers, black hat hackers, if they want to do something illegal, they use VPNs, or that's the other part. To secure the internet, VPN plays a very important role. How? Now, we are not aware about the trackers. What is a tracker? When you use a website, when you use a browser, you don't know how many websites you're going through and how many JavaScripts are there on the website. The JavaScript does nothing, simply takes your concern. If it is fraud, it will take your concern without your acceptance, won't give any permission, but they will take your consent and they will start tracking your data from the backend. You won't interact with them. It's not a software or anything. It's just a script which is working on some ABC website, and they will start collecting your data and they will process it in the backend. The data might contain everything about your browsing history, your internet browsing patterns. A lot of things happens, okay? Because it all is saved in your browser's cookies. If you go on your browser, open a website, right click on that, go to inspect element, go to the application tab, you will see a lot of session tabs, cookies tabs. And if you click on that, you will see there are hundreds of data from different websites. Obviously, it is used for logical ways, like to make sure the user experience is good. But obviously, if it comes to a hacker, they don't want you to feel, they don't have the same objective as others. So they will use the cookies and data to steal the particular information. What VPN does, when you try to browse a website with the help of a VPN or an application with the help of VPN, it provides an additional security and won't reveal your actual locations and actual device information also. Which means, like, if you're trying to access some website from with the help of a VPN, it will anyhow encrypt your data with more security. And it won't allow the trackers to track your information, location, and other things. What is the most common thing now? The tracker tracks your locations, basically like how your data is traveling and how you are accessing the internet and all. And VPN will help to decrypt all those things and won't allow them to track your information, even by the third-party apps and security stuffs. After VPN, we have something known as IDS IPS. Now, what is IDS IPS? IDS stands for Intrusion Detection System, and IPS stands for Intrusion Prevention System. Okay. Detection means we can create a certain rules and regulations, certain rules to detect if the activity is like this, if the activity matches this pattern, alert me. If the activity matches that pattern, alert me. IPS is a prevention system where we set up some security layers which will automatically try to prevent the hacking activities from a hacker. We can create a DMZ zone. A DMZ zone is known as demilitarized zone, which is basically nothing, empty server which we use to make fool the hackers so that they can easily get caught once they try to access the data from the DMZ zones. It's a different concept, but yeah, IDS and IPS is there. And after IDS and IPS, we have something known as behavior analytics. Now, there's a signature. We know about signature. What is a signature? Like if let's take example of banking. When I need to give someone a check, I need to give my signature over it, right? Now, if someone else tries to copy my signature, they can copy it obviously, because the more complex the signature is, the more hard it gets for the fraudster. But what I'm talking about here is my signature is my identity for me for some activities, right? For you also, it will be same. Now, let's take example as a hacker. Okay. As a hacker also, there will be signature of my activity. Like there will be a particular signature which I usually do while doing my activities. For everyone, it's like there. And if I'm leaving my signature on some activities, and it's very important for hackers to leave, because they don't, like, suppose if there's a hacking activity happens, they just simply publish that hacked by this group of hackers, hacked by that group of hackers, right? And if there's an individual hacker, they also leave their code names. They also leave their code signatures. And it's also important to leave. Why? Because even if you're not leaving it, and if your attack is like very wide, tens and thousands of people are affected by it, your signature will become very common. And the antivirus engines will start detecting your signature and will start detecting your virus or the malware, whatever you have created. That's how the behavior analytics works. Okay. On the basis of the information we get from it, the IDS also process the data and helps us to secure the environment. And these are the key tools for securing our network. I hope it is clear to everyone. Firewall, VPN, IDS, IPS, and with the help of behavioral analytics, which is used by big companies to protect their customers' data. Any doubt? Please type in the live chat. Okay, just type in the live chat. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Then we'll start the next one, which is benefits of network security. Hi, I'm back. So there are a few questions. Let's address them and then we'll start. Okay. So someone is asking, is there a possibility that we don't leave any signatures and all? Okay. Uh, this is asked by Ramesh. So obviously, that's like in it's like in your hand. It's basically okay. If you want to go give some code to your exploit, it depends on you. But I'm not talking about that signature. It means suppose if you programmed something, okay, it will anyhow connect to you, right? If you have designed something, it will anyhow connect to you somehow. Okay. Like if you are doing something which is illegal, something which is not allowed, you programmed some malware and you planted it. Anyhow, suppose if you're using the same malware, you planted it somewhere else also, and just like that, 10,000 users got affected. Okay, so obviously it won't link to you, not as your personal identity. I'm saying not as like if they will get to know that you are the one. There is some code that, but what hackers basically set up. Okay, and that's how we get to know about all those kind of malwares, viruses, and that's how antivirus detects them with the help of the signature. Okay, so suppose if there is a cloud security, okay, if some company is focusing on their cloud security, they basically work more and more on detecting these signatures because it helps them detect the pattern of the hacking, pattern of the attackers. And they can, with the help of those patterns, ethical hackers predict the attacks, predict the bugs and vulnerabilities, and fix it out. And this is how the network security also works. They predict the possibilities, they predict what can happen, they set up DMZ zones and all, and they predict how hackers use the particular vulnerabilities to get into the network. And those signatures plays a vital role in that. Okay, the behavior, what we're talking about here. So it's an optional thing that to leave a signature or not. If you're not leaving, anyhow the pattern will be detectable, the pattern of the program, the pattern of the attack, because you won't be doing different attacks every time. A hacker, a black hat hacker, okay, a cyber criminal always use an automated process, which they invest in once, set up once, create once, develop once, or whatever, and then they use the same thing. Okay, and in the current cyber world also, in the current on the current internet world, like there are a lot of tools which is responsible for all these activities instead of uh, the other things and all, the scriptings and all. Okay, tools plays a very large role here. Okay, I hope your question is answered, Ramesh, right? Let's proceed. Okay, there's one more question. After that, we'll proceed. Just a minute. Let me plug my laptop into charging. Just give me a moment, everyone. So, okay, there's one more question. Is it possible that a white hat hacker could hack it? No, this looks up. Let's understand the very basic concept here. Like, if you're talking about cybersecurity, if you're talking about ethical hacking, hackers, we categorize them into different categories. Like, we have ethical, black hat, white hat, gray hat, script kiddies, suicide hackers. Sorry, bomb. Suicide hackers is a category. So, and there's few more categories. Okay, it basically defines different categories of hackers. Now, they all are basically categorized in different with the help of different ways of hacking. Like script kiddies are the one who basically depends on the scripts and performs everything with the help of tools. Then we have the gray hat hackers who basically works on contract. We can't like just define them in a category that they are legal, they're illegal. They are the gray hat. White hat basically works with a proper contract. They are bonded with something. Gray hat hackers are not. It's up to them. And black hat are what? Like they are tagged as a criminal. They have a tag like they are very legal and they can do anything. No one can trust them. Not even a contract can trust them. Like government agency, they strictly apply those contracts, and then they convert those criminal hackers into their like hackers, personal hackers. That's like a kind of thing which happens on the government level. What we are talking about here is if white hat hacker is able to do the same things or not. Obviously, he is, because or she is like capable of doing that, because the same concepts we study, like what is needed to do the hacking. So a white hat hacker also knows the same methods, same concepts, same techniques what a black hat hacker knows. Okay, in order to catch a thief, you need to think like a thief, right? That's what I hope it's clear now. So white hacker can also hack like anyone. Let's now proceed with the benefits of network security. Okay, the next topic. Let me close the chat. So the benefits of network security. First is, let me erase this. Just a minute. So benefits of network security. Now we discussed about what is network security, how it is important, why it is needed, that ways of implementing it. Like we discussed about types of network security: physical, logical, okay, administrative. We discussed about layers of application, a network like transport layer, application layer, right? We discussed about SSL layers, and we discussed about the tools. Now, with the help of all these things, what's the benefit? What's the ultimate benefit? Obviously, it's clear now. First, we categorize into external threats, protecting against external attacks or threats. What are the examples of external threats? Can anyone tell me in the live chat? Any guesses? Kind of examples I'm asking. Any examples you can give for external threats, anyone? And just like give examples for internal threats also. An external threat and internal threats. Anyone can give an example of one each? Well, one we can talk about is phishing mails. Yes, that's short mails we can categorize as a phishing mail. Okay. Yeah, correct. Phishing mail is there. Phishing mail is like a lot of types. Phishing mails are getting common now. Why? Because there's an increase of internet usage now, obviously, and because of the AI, the usage of AI, people are now using more and more tools on the internet, right? You are signing up for more and more websites, more and more services, more and more applications, correct? And you're giving your details. Now, there's a concept of scrapping. You know, internet scrapping. It's like scrapping data, scrapping anything. There are a lot of tools available for that. Okay, it's paid, obviously. Your data is not free, but obviously you allow your data to be processed. Obviously, you don't know where it is getting shared and all. You don't know even like how frequently Facebook gets hacked and they lose millions of users of data every day. So the tools like data scrappers, they scrap your data, then they start sending phishing mails, and they make sure that you believe like it's like actual genuine website, genuine mailer. Now we get emails from Meta about your Facebook page is banned, your Facebook page is restricted. Click here, click there. But I know like how things work, how Facebook sends appeals, and how Facebook uh, basically works on these kind of options and all. I know about them, so I can easily filter out those emails. But they use different like manipulative concepts, manipulative options, and they try to make sure that they earn your trust. That's the external threat. They can send phishing mails, obviously. Yeah, malware is there, virus is there, correct? Now, let's talk about internal threats. Anyone? So yeah, DDoS will be also we count as extra, because look, whatever attacks are happening from outside. Now, suppose uh, suppose I'm a user and I'm using a website, and the website is having a vulnerability of injecting any scripts. Okay. And hacker can easily inject any script on the website. So that will be a kind of external threat like the XSS, SQL and all. But if the vulnerability is about sessions, session hijacking, cookies hijacking, okay, that will be from users threats. Okay. So like this, we categorize external and internal threats. Internal, we can also say like there's a lot of internal threats like eavesdropping is there. Okay. Then we have a concept where like a threat from someone who is working in a company, and he will be categorized as an internal threat if he sells your data to some competitor, which happens now. If an employee is harassed by the company, suppose if an employee is harassed by the company, they are the very easy target for the hackers or for someone who is looking for some information from the company. As a competitor point of view, we can say, or if we discuss from a hacker's point of view also, frustrated employee, harassed employee is an easy target because they can leave information, they can share information very easily. Okay, that's the kind of example of a good example of internal threat. Unauthorized employee access is also a good example. Yeah, like there are different security layers for the physical security, for the like logical securities and all. But obviously, the categorization is like clear, right? Like how external threats and internal threats are there. Okay. DDoS attack is like a kind of external threat. DDoS is like, suppose sending huge amount of traffic to the server or the system, and the system is only capable of processing limited number of threads in just 1 minute, and he was sending thousands and 1 lakh of threads in a particular minute. So either they will overload, the server will crash, okay, and server downtime and server crash is one of the major reason these attacks are possible, the network security get breached. Why? Because when the security system goes down, there's no automation need to protect the network. So the network will be at its vulnerable position when the downtime and these kind of server issue happens. Like companies like Google, big companies like Razorpay, InstaMojo, they all face server downtime, right? And when the server goes down, a lot of security options, security settings also goes down. Okay, that's why network security is very important, so that they can prevent all these kind of attacks. So one is external threat, other one is internal threats, and the third is increase the production. Obviously, this is the one of the major benefits of having a network security, because if we talk about customer retention, this which is one of the most important thing for a business development. Okay, if customer is not happy, obviously it won't be a good sign for the business. And making a customer happy is not only with the help of different ways, like giving good support and all. We're talking about something else here, that's like giving a proper option to customers data, and they must be aware about how their data is processed and if it is secure or not. Okay, in that term I'm talking about. So if like for me, when I registered for Domino's app, next year only they got a big data breach where they lost almost 15 TB of users data. Okay, in which my data was also there, and you can easily find on the internet with the help of some tools like have I been pawned and all. You can get all those information. So from that time I knew that okay, this is like something which can happen and your data can easily get leaked. So do not try to give all your information like on every platform. Try to stick to a one identity and don't create multiple identities and just don't forget like how many accounts you have created, because it can be used for various different purposes, and you won't pay attention because you don't know how many identities you have on the internet. Okay, so someone can misuse, can do a lot of things from them. Otherwise, make sure that if you're having multiple identities, so try to make it secure. Okay, so that is these are the main benefits of having a network security. I hope it's clear to everyone, right? After that, brand trust and reputation. Now, just now, a few minutes back, as we discussed about customer retention and all, in that brand trust and reputation also comes. So if the app is laggy, suppose you're using some app and if it is laggy, what do? You will rate bad stars. You give negative feedback, right? And suppose something happens with the data. Suppose if your account got hacked, okay, and you're trying to contact their customer support, like how it happened and all, and they don't have any answers only. What will happen? You lose trust over your particular client app or whatever app you're using. Correct? Suppose you lost your Instagram account, okay, and you don't know what exactly happened, and it's not your fault. Okay, it's not your fault. So you will lose trust, and you will start posting very less information about you on the social media. If it happens with you, that kind of thing you'll obviously feel. Okay, so the benefit of network security is very important to build a brand trust and reputation also. That's why companies focus on customer support a lot and try to make their account secure. And companies are even, and why it's not happening now that much is because the amount of service you're getting for free is not, it's not possible for them to just keep these securities up and running every time, because there are a lot of things which happens because of you also. Okay, because of the customer application layers also. So now some companies are even bringing verification system like meta verification, blue tick. You might have heard about all these services where they give extra security to your account. Why? Because they pay more attention to your data. You are a priority for them. Got it? So that's how it works. So that was the fourth part. Any doubt, anyone? Let me know. That was the second last topic. After that, we'll show you some practical demonstration of Nmap. If you have any question, you can ask in the live chat. Till here. I hope my Tally screen is visible to everyone. So right now, to show practicals of Nmap, I will be using virtual machine, virtual box. Okay, and I've created an instance of Kali Linux. You can use any Debian based system. You can use Parrot, Ubuntu, wherever you want to use, you can simply use it. Why I'm using Kali Linux is because it's like operating system used by hackers, ethical hackers, cybersecurity researchers, because it contains all the required softwares installed by default. Okay, let me make it big screen. Please confirm in the live chat once if you're able to see the full screen of my Kali instance. Please confirm the live chat, yes, no. Okay, so I hope you're able to see my screen now. So what we'll do now here is, I will open a terminal. Hope this text is visible to you. Just let me make it big. Okay. Now, what we have to do is we just type a simple command, which is nmap. Okay. Now, as I told you, like I'm using Kali Linux, so by default it will be having the nmap installed. And if you're not having nmap installed, you can simply type this command: sudo apt is for the packet manager, install and map. Okay, so it will ask you for the password of your machine. Okay, so let me see. Give me a moment, everyone. I think my package was not updated. If it is, it will take long. We'll just start a new terminal and we just open directly. That was the command for installing, which is sudo apt for packet manager, install and map. Yeah, so it will take some time. Let me start new terminal and let me show you the demonstration directly. I hope my nmap is installed, which you can check with the help of nmap-help, and you can see here that nmap is installed. 7.3 version we are having here. Let's clear the terminal. Okay, so first we need a target. Okay, so you can select any target you want. Okay, like you can set you can connect to your office network and you can search for some IP address and you can start pinging that particular IP address and you can search particular network like that only. Okay, that's not an issue. That's not something which is not allowed. You can do that. So now what we'll do is we'll type the nmap command for scanning a IP address. So let's scan a normal target. Let's give an IP address of my router. Okay, I'm having this Geo5 router. Let me find out the IP address first. So my gateway IP address is visible here. Let's test it out first. Okay, so what I did here is I typed nmap command -sp, then the IP address. Now, if you want, you can simply give a range of IP address also if you want. Okay, and if there are multiple systems connected in that, you can simply get those results. Okay, Let's wait for the results. So we can see that only one, okay. So you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so you can see 5 hosts are up. Okay, so 5 hosts are up. We can now scan for any of these IP addresses, and you can now type the command to do that. Okay, let's go for any of the IP address. Let's go for the first one, or let's go for, let's see which IP address is ours. Okay, let's check which one is Windows. Okay, Windows IP address, we'll see. So we are having 169. This is 169. So we'll scan this. Okay, type nmap 192.168, the IP address which my Windows system is having, that will scan 29.169. Let's see what we get here. Okay, so we see these are the ports open we can get here. Okay, now you can see we are able to ping successfully. Now we can get more information for the particular IP address by giving a more detailed command. Okay, now let's try to use hyphen. Now in nmap, we have different options available to get details about the particular target. Like we can get version information, how many ports are open, how many ports are closed. With the help of that, we can simply find out what is the current status of the server or the target about the security, and we can guess the security level. That's the main objective of using a network mapper tool. Network mapper stands, it's the short full form of nmap. So we use this flag value, and we can see here the port information, and I used V to find out the version, and it gives, it's basically Windows, and yeah, obviously it's Windows, but it's not giving the actual version, and obviously it's not 100% accurate that you will get the accurate version information or accurate details about the target, because it's like guessed information. Like the nmap is basically guessing with the help of other information, and it's giving you the particular details. Okay, now let's try to check if a particular port number is open or not. Okay, so we can see the state is showing as filtered. Let's try out by communicating with the port. Let's verify whether the port is open or not. So -P followed by the port number. Let's see if 445 we are able to connect or not. Connect means like we're able to ping or not. We're not connecting, we're just checking the condition of the network, whether it's we can communicate or not, and we can find out few more configuring information, like which can help us to prepare for the attack, or obviously prepare against attack. So it's currently showing as filtered now. No worries. Okay, so we can scan like this. Now whatever ports we can find open, we can carry attacks on that. That's how attackers use the nmap tools for. Now as a cybersecurity researcher, as a ethical hacker, as a network security from network security point, if you use nmap, you can easily find out the loopholes, configuration issues, and all. because suppose you're able to find that there are port numbers which is open, which was not supposed to be open. You can find using this tool. And if you're able to find out there is one version discrepancy, might be the version is very low for the particular service. Suppose the server, the target we are scanning is not having any other options, like we are not scanning any server. Suppose if the IP address is of a Windows server, it will be hosting a database, will be hosting a website, will be hosting a lot of information about the customers. And suppose if a hacker is able to find out that there's a loophole in the configuration with the help of the network mapper tool, we can find out those information. And we can find out that the versions are not up to date for some services. Say that MySQL, the protocol which the query, it's like query language which helps to set up database to insert and fetch and process the data. Suppose if the database version is not up to date, we can get to know from the network mapper. Just like that, different services are there, right? So each and every services on the internet, it depends on a particular port number. If a particular port is closed, that service won't work, obviously. Like 80 is the default port for HTTP protocol. So if suppose port number 80 is blocked by Google, we won't be able to access google.com. If port number 80 is blocked by Facebook, we won't be able to access Facebook. It will be down. Okay, that's how it works. So suppose if you want to scan a whole range of the port, you can simply go with that. In my system, I don't hope that there will be a lot of ports open because it's not a server, it's a personal system. Okay, so we see that in between this range, we get only 2 ports. You can also make this range big, 400 to 500. In between that, we can see only 1 is there. Okay, so it's like that. So I hope you got proper information like how to use the network mapper also. This is a way to map a network and to find out information about the network. You can find more and more details about how to use nmap with the help of help command. It will give you all the flag values which you can use to get more and more information about the particular network. -p, SL, SN, PN, PE, like all the other flags which is used for particular thing. If you're looking for more information about the particular network, security issues, if you want to find out loopholes or looking to fix it out, this is a very good tool. So let me that was the practical for the nmap live, okay, which is just now we have seen like how to use that to get information about the particular network. Okay, any doubts, anyone, let me know in the live chat. Okay, so if you're not figuring it out, that is it for this session, everyone. I hope you like this session on network fundamentals. If you're having any queries, you can type in the live chat. Otherwise, that was it for today's workshop. And you can now leave this class and we'll provide the recording of this session over to you directly via mail, which you can expect by today evening. And thank you for joining this session again, everyone. If you want to get connect with me directly, please join the Discord server so that we can easily communicate there. Thank you for joining the session, everyone. I hope you have liked it. We'll connect again in another session, and for which you will get a direct update over the email. Okay. Basic. Yeah. Thanks, Said. Thanks for your compliment. Thank you. Thank you. Basic skills. Okay. Okay, Bharat, like as a basic skill, we can say like you have to know about the how your data is getting transmitted. That's it. Where you are sharing your data, how your data is transmitted, how your data is getting, is it safe or not? That's it. And if you know that it's not safe to give all your information, just try to use dummy IDs, dummy or normal accounts, which is not having any like which not having every information about you somewhere on the internet. That's what I'm saying. And if you know about the concepts of how these hackings works, how the attacks work, you'll be able to protect against yourself from these things, right? Like if you know how phishing happens, you can verify the domains. If you know how to verify the email, if you know how to verify the IP address from where it is coming, you can easily track the mail locations also from where the mail exactly is sent. So if you know the concept, you can easily protect against anything. Okay, to secure yourself basically. So whatever concepts you learn, it's you can use it for personal usage and professional usage both. There's nothing separate for each and every one of them. It's all same. The concept is same. So either you can share it with others, you can offer your like securities to other, or you can use it for yourself. So everything, like if you talk about password security, so if you understand about something password security, that okay, this is how authentication works, this is how authorization works, you can implement the same thing on yourself. You can verify whether okay, I have to make sure that these things are properly configured so that my users won't lose their credentials, because you don't know your user's environment. Suppose you run a website, Bharat, and I'm your user, and you're having a website where I can book appointments for anything, and I book an appointment, and in order to book that appointment, I have to give my username, and you didn't pay attention on your login page, and the login page is having like an option to inject any script. Script means like any special character which you're not filtering out. Suppose it's a very basic example, which means I can inject a query into your login page, which can help me to get credentials of other users also. Okay, so RCE, which stands for remote code execution, that is also where I can use a lot of scripts, different scripts to inject onto your website, because you're not protecting your login form against all those things. So just like that, there are different ways which you can protect against if you know the way of how it is basically done, the method behind it. Like if you know how SQL injection is done, you can protect your services against these MySQL attacks. Correct. If you know how remote code execution works, you can protect against those things also. And if you know how the network attack, how a network like vulnerability, how you can fix a network vulnerability with the help of network security, you can easily implement it in your environment also. Like we discussed about firewalls, right? We discussed about VPNs. We discussed about IDS, IPS. So VPNs can play a very vital role in your personal use also, and your company uses also, professional use also. Obviously, companies allow you to use VPNs in office also, because you don't know whether the company's network is secure or not. Okay. So that is it. Thank you again, everyone. I hope you liked this session. For other things, please connect on Discord, and we'll sort it out those queries there only. Okay. Okay. So I will share this session recording over the mail. You can find out the mail by today evening, and you can go through the session over Zoom directly. Okay. And Discord, it's Discord. Like if you're not having Discord link, please, again, everyone, we are having a server over Discord channel or over Discord app. We shared a invite link also so many times over mail. If you're not having that, please send an email to us directly. We'll share an invite link directly there only. Okay, it's like we shifted from Telegram to Discord, and it's like we are using now for direct communication, posting resources, and other kind of stuff. Okay, and regular announcements also. So please join there. Thank you for joining again, everyone. Have a good day ahead. I hope you like this session. We'll again connect via mail. We'll share you the other updates regarding the other sessions. Thank you again for joining the session, everyone. Have a good day ahead. Bye bye. We'll end the session now. Thank you.